A former Chattanooga Prep teacher pleading guilty in federal court today. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kim Chapman-Whitfield.
And I'm Josh. Kenya White pleaded guilty to enticement of a minor and admitted to sending inappropriate text messages to students.
News Channel 9's Latricia Thomas has been following the story since the beginning and was in court today, and she joins us now to tell us about what happened there. Latricia.
Josh and Kim, Kenya White appeared in federal court in chained handcuffs as his family members looked on. He told the judge he understood what he's being charged with and that he admits it's true. Inside Chattanooga's federal court, former Chatt Prep and Eastlake Academy teacher Kenya White admitted to sending text messages to students asking them for inappropriate pictures.
Mr. White has pled guilty.
In court, the federal judge asked White, who has been in custody for months, quote, "Do you agree that the factual basis in the indictment is true?" The former teacher replied yes.
Mr. White has been very remorseful. He has come forward early to the authorities once it went federal.
The plea document shows that in 2023, White, quote, attempted to persuade a 12-year-old Eastlake Academy student to take sexually explicit images of himself and send those images to him. This timeline from our investigation shows that Hamilton County Schools first suspended and then fired White after those allegations surfaced. 8 months later, White's personnel file shows Chatt Prep hired him, but our investigation revealed that, according to Hamilton County Schools, the public charter school did not ask to review White's personnel file or do a reference check with HR. When we reviewed White's file, it showed those allegations along with his suspension and firing. Even though White is only formally charged with the first interaction with the student, the plea agreement shows that 4 months after he became a teacher at Chatt Prep, White started messaging a 14-year-old student there, quote, asking him to create sexually explicit images of himself, and if White could, quote, perform a sexual act on him. Court documents show those texts and Snapchat messages went on for 9 months.
And there was no actual physical thing that happened, but he is acknowledging the investigation could lead to 2 persons, and that can be considered by the court in sentencing.
New leadership at Chatt Prep has since said that White should have never been hired there. In the weeks after we revealed this email showing that HR knew about a red flag for White in the state educator database, but kept him on staff anyway, the principal resigned and the head of HR took an early retirement. The school's former CEO, Brad Scott, resigned before the allegations against White surfaced. White will be sentenced in federal court on October 22nd and will face a minimum of 10 years in federal prison, up to life. Since we exposed the gaps in the hiring process at the public charter school, they've since hired a new HR firm to tighten their procedures. Hamilton County also stepped in when it came out that over half of the teachers working at Chatt Prep, including Kenya White, didn't have a proper license. Josh.
Well, Latricia, thank you. For more on our lengthy investigation into how White ended up working at Chatt Prep, go to this story, newschannel9.com.